If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. This simple yet profound statement by Wayne Dyer actually encapsulates the essence of what I'm talking about today, about how your perception shapes your reality, and by changing it, you can change your life. I'm Sanjay and welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a short power-packed podcast that helps you master your mindset so you can navigate life's challenges and reach new heights. And I give you easy to implement techniques to help you on that journey to mastering your life. If you get something from this episode, please share it with someone who you think would benefit from hearing it. And I'd also really appreciate it if you could leave me a rating or a review. So today, I'm talking about the topic that can truly transform your life, and that is the power of perception. Your perception, as I said, shapes your reality, and when you start to change it, you can be so surprised at how much your life changes. I'll be covering how and why your perception is holding you back and keeping you where you are. I'll be talking about the key influences on what your perception is and the transformative power of that perspective shift. And I'll also be giving you some practical ways to help you change that perspective. So your perception is holding you back and giving you a bad life if you're using it in a negative way. Your perception is a powerful force. It is actually the lens which you view your world, and it can either be a window of opportunity or it can be a barrier to happiness. But your perception may be holding you back because of your negativity bias. Our brains are wired to focus on the negative experiences more than the positive ones that we have in life. And it's a phenomenon known as negativity bias. This is an evolutionary trait which actually helped our ancestors survive years, thousands, hundreds of thousands years ago, but it can actually make us overly pessimistic. That's why when you see something negative or hear something negative, you actually remember it more than you do the positive experiences. So when an average person, has about 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and around 80% of those are negative. So can you imagine what that's doing to your perception of the world around you? If you're having 80% of your thoughts as negative, you're trying to use that 20% of positive thoughts to outdo those negative ones. It's not going to happen. And then when you start to have this negativity bias, when you start focusing and you start perceiving the world as negative, when you start perceiving your life as bad, you will actually subconsciously act in a way that will reinforce that belief. And this is what is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you're unlucky, what you're going to start doing is you're more likely to actually notice and remember the bad luck that you have. So when people believe they are capable and they actually have confidence in themselves, they tend to perform better in tests in life. They achieve more because of their positive perception, which actually drives their actions. So if you are actually struggling to believe in yourself, if you believe that life is bad, you are going to see a bad life around you. Another reason that can actually be causing you to see life and why your perception may be holding you back is because you've got a fixed mindset. I've talked about this many times. A fixed mindset is actually one that makes us see challenges as obstacles rather than opportunities to learn and grow. We see any kind of challenge, we see any kind of negative, any rejection, rather than actually seeing it as a chance to learn from it, as an opportunity to become better ourselves. We actually see it as something, as a brick wall in front of us that actually stops us from moving forward. This will limit your potential and it will keep you stuck in a negative loop. And so individuals with a growth mindset are more resilient and will actually achieve higher levels of success because They view those challenges as opportunities to improve, to become better. They don't see a challenge as something that's to stop them in their tracks. But there are lots of things around us that can influence our perception. There's loads of things on a daily basis. In every second, there are so many different bits of information being taken in by your brain. So, three big things that actually make a change in your reality, that actually influence your perception, are your past experiences. Your past experience actually give color to your present perceptions. If you've had negative experiences in relationships, you may actually bring that luggage, those bad experiences, into new relationships. You may start new relationships with suspicion, with fear. You may stop yourself from fully committing because of what has happened to you in the past. How many times have you either been in that situation or know someone in that situation who carries around their old past relationships into their new ones? And then what happens is they end up making the same mistakes again and again and again because as I said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe your relationship is going to end, or you believe that no one's going to love you, what you're going to start doing is you're going to start acting in that way. So when you start to have those negative experiences and you start bringing them into your new relationships, that is actually one of the reasons that influences your perception, your past relationships. You're holding on to that luggage. It's a ball and chain around you, stopping you from moving forward. The next thing is the people around you. They will massively influence your perception on the world. People including family, friends, society, your colleagues. Yeah, you are with these people all the time. And so social norms and expectations within that group, within that society, within that community, it can shape what you see as possible or impossible. Everyone thought that it was impossible to run a sub 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister did it. And after that, when he showed the world that it could be done, after that, then everyone started running, or everyone who was competing started running and breaking that record, that 4-minute mile. Your social influences can impact everything from your self-esteem to your career choices. So this shows that you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people, with positive influences. One of the the final thing I'll give you is media and the information you consume. You don't realize that you are constantly being bombarded with information. Your mind is filtering out all this information. So everything you're consuming plays a critical role in shaping your perception of the world. So if you're allowing yourself to be constantly exposed to negative news, it can help you, or it will make you believe that the world is more dangerous and more hopeless than it actually is. When you consume higher amounts of negative news, you're more likely to have a pessimistic view of the world and actually experience higher levels of stress and anxiety because all you believe is that there's negativity out there. So imagine that's your life, just constantly. If you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people, consuming the wrong information and holding on to your past negative experiences like luggage, of course you're going to have a negative perspective of the world. Your perception is going to be gloomy, dull. So what you need to do is you need to start changing your perspective, and it can actually give you a totally different life. Because when you start changing your perspective, start living with a more positive perspective, it improves your mental health. It reduces your stress, your anxiety, your depression, and it actually makes room for happiness and peace in your life. When you actually start positive thinking, it doesn't mean that you don't you actually ignore the negative out there. It means you're aware of it, but you just choose not to focus on it. And so when you're then feeling more positive, when you've got more of a positive perspective on life, it can actually help you improve your relationships. Imagine having closer relationships with your partner, with your friends, with your kids, with your parents. When you view others through a lens of compassion, of understanding, you actually will build stronger and more meaningful connections. When you have that positive perspective, you actually become more empathetic. And you will feel that actually your relationships are more satisfying and actually longer lasting. You've all been in that situation where you've been around someone who's so negative, you actually don't want to hang around that person. You don't want to associate with that person because they just bring you down. So remember that positive perspective can build your relationships. And then also, when you're living in that life, a more positive life, when you're seeing things in a better perspective, things are looking happier, things are looking more joyful, you're actually going to seize more opportunities. You're going to persevere through challenges because you're going to believe in yourself. You're going to think, yeah, actually, I'm doing this for a reason. There's something better out there for me. And what you'll find is that actually leads to greater success, greater fulfillment, not just in your professional life, but in your personal life as well. You'll be willing to take more risks, to push yourself out of your comfort zone, to actually become the person you want to be. Optimistic individuals are more likely to achieve their goals and experience higher levels of success and satisfaction in life. Don't you want that? Don't you want to have that happiness, that joy? And now think about it. I'm going to give you 4 ways in which you can change your perspective. The first thing is practice gratitude. A simple thing. So simple, so easy, so quick. Start a daily gratitude journal if you can. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every single morning. By doing this, you're shifting your focus from what's wrong in your life to what's right in your life. When you practice gratitude, it increases your happiness, it reduces your stress, and it can actually improve your physical health. You no longer are putting all your happiness externally. You're grateful for what you've got. The next thing is to challenge those negative thoughts. When a negative thought arises, challenge it. Ask yourself, is that true, or actually is it just something that's popped up? Your negative thoughts are often exaggerated and are actually not based on true reality. Surround yourself with positivity. Number 3, surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with positive music, with positive podcasts, with things that are uplifting, things that are inspiring or motivational. The more positivity you consume, the more it will shape your perception and then affect your reality. Happiness is contagious. And so being surrounded by happy people and positive people can actually significantly boost your own happiness. Don't think that surrounding yourself with negative people, you're going to live that happy, positive life. And the final thing is to practice mindfulness and meditation. When you become more aware of your thoughts and your emotions, it's easier to then detach from the negative perceptions and see things more clearly, to see things more positively, to actually focus on those positive things. When you actually meditate, mindfulness meditation can reduce symptoms of anxiety, of depression, and it can improve your overall mental health. So changing your perception can truly change your life. It's about shifting from seeing obstacles to seeing opportunities, from focusing on the negative to embracing the positive. What negative perceptions are you willing to challenge and change today? And how do you think that little shift will impact your life? So thank you for joining me today. Remember, your mindset shapes your reality. When you master it, you'll master your life. Changing your perception is the first step towards a brighter and more fulfilling life. So keep your mindset strong and your heart open. As always, my mission is to make a positive impact on this world, and I sincerely hope you can help me do that by liking, by following, and by sharing this podcast with others. So until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep mastering your mindset to master your life. Thank you.